Meet Gary. Gary owns a business. Gary also owns 47 ideas, 19 sticky notes, 6 notebooks, and 1 phone full of screenshots we will absolutely never look at again. Every morning, Gary wakes up and says, "Today is the day I get organized." Then he immediately opens his phone and gets attacked by 900 tiny red notification bubbles. Gary is not lazy. Gary is busy. There is a difference. Lazy people avoid work. Busy people do work while accidentally creating 6 new problems with every solved problem. At 8:03 a.m., Gary has his first genius idea. "We should make a video about our best service," he says with confidence, then writes it on a sticky note labeled video thing. At 8:11 a.m., a customer texts him. At 8:13, an employee calls. At 8:15, Gary puts his sticky note somewhere safe, which means it has entered another dimension. By 9 a.m., Gary has a second idea. "We need a better follow-up system." This is a strong thought for a man who currently follows up by remembering standing near a refrigerator. So Gary writes, "Follow up better," on another sticky note. Then he sticks it to his laptop, directly on top of the first sticky note he already forgot existed. At 10:30, Gary has a third idea. "We should ask happy customers for reviews." This is smart. This is useful. This could make money. Gary celebrates by doing absolutely nothing with it. Because now the phone rings again. A customer wants a quote. Another customer wants a receipt. Someone named Dave wants to know if Gary got that thing from last time. Gary has no idea what thing Dave means, but Gary says, "Yep, I'm looking at it right now," which is business owner language for "I'm currently panicking." By lunch, Gary has 14 ideas, 23 interruptions, and 1 sandwich he took 3 bites of before using it as a paperweight. This is how ideas die, not in dramatic explosion, not because they were bad. They die slowly, under invoices, missed calls, and sticky notes that say things like "big idea." Gary thinks his problem is motivation. It is not. Gary has motivation. Gary has so much motivation, he keeps inventing work he does not have time to finish. Gary's real problem is that every idea has to survive inside Gary's brain. Gary's brain is currently also storing passwords, job details, customer complaints, and what his wife asked him to pick up from the store. This is where people misunderstand AI. They think AI is just a robot that writes weird poems, makes fake pictures, and tells you to leverage synergy until everyone wants to leave the room. But useful AI is not supposed to be a fancy robot poet. Useful AI is supposed to be the assistant standing next to Gary with a broom, a clipboard, and emotional damage. Gary says, "We should make a video about our best service." The AI system says, "Great. Here is the title, script, shot list, caption, and reminder to post it Friday." Gary says, "We need a better follow-up system." The AI system says, "Cool. Here are the steps, the message templates, the customer stages, and the list of people you forgot." Gary says, "We should ask for more reviews." The AI system says, "Yes, Gary. You said this 17 times. Here is the review request text. Please stop writing it on napkins." The point is not that AI has better ideas than Gary. It does not. Gary knows the business. Gary knows the customers. Gary knows what actually happens in the field. The point is that AI can help Gary's ideas survive long enough to become something useful. Without a system, an idea is just a little ghost floating around the office, whispering, "Remember me," while Gary answers another phone call. With a system, the idea gets captured, sorted, turned into steps, and assigned a place to live that is not Gary's exhausted forehead. Now Gary has a simple rule. If an idea shows up, it goes into the system, not into a mystery book, not into a text to himself that says, "Remember thing." The system asks, "What is this idea for?" Is it a video, a customer reply, a sales offer, a process, a follow-up, or one of Gary's weird shower thoughts? Then it turns the idea into a next step, not a perfect final masterpiece, just the next useful thing, a draft, a checklist, a message, a plan, a reminder. This matters because businesses do not usually fail from one giant villain problem. They leak money through 100 tiny cracks nobody has time to patch. The uncalled lead, the unsent estimate, The happy customer who never got asked for a review. The good video idea that became a sticky note fossil. Gary does not need a robot to replace him. Gary needs a robot to follow him around with a net, catching the ideas falling out of his pockets. And once Gary has that, something weird happens. He starts looking more organized. Customers get faster replies, content gets made, follow-ups happen, reviews get requested. Gary's business has not become magical. Gary still has problems. Gary still loses a tape measure twice a week, but now the important ideas are not disappearing. That is the real power of AI systems. Not replacing the business owner, not making the business fake, helping the owner turn messy thoughts into organized action. So if your business has 47 ideas, 19 sticky notes, 6 notebooks, and 1 phone full of screenshots you swear you're going to use someday, congratulations. You do not need more ideas. You need a system before your next genius thought gets buried under a sandwich. Wild West AI Systems builds practical AI systems for real businesses that need help turning ideas, leads, follow-ups, and content into actual action.